Caps is probably the best Western League of Legends player of all time, at least in my opinion. I know there is some debate between like Caps and Perkz and going back and forth, but for me it's Caps. But no matter what, he's top 2, top 3, top whatever, and he's very, very popular. He's always in the headlines. He's always a big story. Over the past couple of years, he's had a bunch of big stories. He's been an MSI champion, a multiple-time world finalist, multiple-time MVP. He left Fnatic to go to G2. He role swapped to AD Carry. He's had some really, really big stories. But over the past year, things have kind of quieted down. He didn't make it to MSI. He didn't make it to Worlds. Personally, he kind of had a down year overall, and then this year, this offseason, he's not role swapping, he's not changing teams, anything like that. So we haven't heard as much about Caps over the past year, which is different. It's really, really weird. Kind of the lowest point in terms of like just fanfare in terms of Caps' career. But he does have some big stories that have come out recently that I think are definitely worth talking about. So that's what we're going to do in this video today. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think we can do it. I hope we can do it, but I know we can do it with your help if you click that button real quick. With that being said, let's get right into this. So one of the big stories, we got a couple different things to talk about here, but the first of the big stories comes from IamGerman.net, an awesome website that you guys should definitely go check out. It's going to be the first link in the description below. Again, it's not ready for our full official launch yet. Hopefully that'll be like early 2022, but it's still up and running. We're still posting some content. Check it out. We have the LEC 2022 roster change, and if we go down to G2, something kind of weird, interesting, not actually that big of a story, but Caps has name changed, not actually, but he's changed the capitalization on his name. It's small c, small a, big P, little s. I don't know if there's any significance to that, if there's any reason, if he just thinks it looks cool, if it's just kind of him memeing or joking, or I don't really get it. I don't totally understand. I asked him in the G2 AMA, but I don't think I got a response of like, why did you change your name? What does this mean? Why did you do this? I don't know, but this is going to be a new look Caps, so maybe, Caps with, bald Caps and Caps with a P and all this stuff. Maybe this will reinvigorate him. We'll see a whole new Caps in 2022. I don't know. Either way, I just wanted to cover it. I thought it was kind of interesting, kind of weird, and maybe some of you guys know why he's done that. I don't know. I haven't been able to see that yet, and of course, I want to shout out my website. But next up, perhaps an even bigger story. I don't know why I went to Caps here. I meant to go to G2. I did it again. I clicked on the wrong thing. I meant to go to G2 because they did have a very, very big announcement for Caps. I think it's right here if it actually does load. 4 more years of Caps. He renewed for 4 more years on his contract extension. This offseason, Riot did implement the ability to sign 4-year deals. I think 3-year deals were the most before. There was the rumor going around that Caps was going to be signing an extension. I don't know if that rumor started before or after Riot, implemented the 4-year contracts, if people knew they were going to or whatever. And, there's people on both sides of this. Personally for me, since he signed a new contract, I assume Caps got a raise. I assume he not only is getting extra years on his contract, but I assume he got more money on his contract, for each individual year as well. Now, part of that is he's still considered, one of the best players, if not the best player in the West. He wasn't last year, but he's still up there. I think he's going to bounce back strong this year. I think G2 thinks he's going to bounce back strong this year. And I think, I think a lot of people expect him to be really, really good. Now, will he be peak Caps? Is he still in peak form? Is he never going to get back to that? Is it going to take him some time to get back to that? Was he held back by his team last year? Was there somebody he couldn't overcome? Whatever. I don't know. But it does seem weird to sign a contract extension after a down year. Usually you sign a contract extension after you have a really great year, or you have one of your best years. You cash out on the awesome performance that you had. So yeah, he had a down year, and now he's signing a long-term, the longest term possible contract extension. There are some people that are worried. Some people are like, oh, Caps is maybe not getting what he's worth. That would kind of suck. And then other people are saying, oh, if you're Caps, why would you sign a 4-year contract? You're just locking yourself in contract jail. Don't you see what just happened to Wonder? Don't you see what just happened to Mickey? Don't you just see what happened to Reckless? And other players all over the world as well. Carlos, this is what he does. He locks you up, and he's gonna, use it against you. Even though the grass seems green right now, and it seems like, oh, Caps is one of the best players of all time. He's the franchise player for G2. He is their star. He is their mid laner. They're gonna treat him well for the next 4 years. That could happen. But if Caps starts to play bad, if Caps ever wants to leave, if G2 finds a new shiny mid laner, maybe this sours pretty quickly. So some people are excited. I think it's really, really cool that Caps and G2 are going to be together for the next 4 years. I think G2 is one of the most iconic organizations in all of League of Legends. I think Caps is one of the most iconic players in all of League of Legends. I think they're really a match made in heaven. I think Caps wants to win more than anything else. It seems like G2 wants to win more than anything else. Caps is great and has been great and probably will be great in the future. G2 has been great, is great, and probably will continue to be great in the future. And yeah, if it's not Perkz that they're building around, they need somebody Perkz-esque, and Caps is really one of the only guys out there that is anywhere near Perkz in terms of talent, ability, potential, marketability, brand, star power, all that stuff. But this was actually addressed in the G2 AMA where somebody asked, for Caps, how do you feel about the 4-year contract? Can it be considered too long because of how fast things are moving in esports? I think that's a very, very fair question. And here's what Caps had to say. He said, best AD 4307, that is Caps. He says, which you can see here, verified G2. It is definitely long, but honestly, off-season/contract negotiations is always the most stressful time for me. Now I have a long contract and I can focus on playing League. So, a lot of people are worried about how long this contract is, what it could mean. It seems like Caps doesn't really care. At the end of the day, he's rich, he's famous, he has a lot of money, he's going to make a lot of money. That probably doesn't matter to him. He wants to win, he wants to focus on League of Legends, and having a long contract allows him to focus, and being on G2, what he thinks is going to continue to, be a good organization and organization focused on winning in the future, he does think that it's worth it. So I get why people are worried, but at the end of the day, I think this is a good deal for G2, locking up a star player for the long term. I think it's a good deal for Caps. Focus on League, go get your money, go get paid. And again, even if you get left in contract prison, it doesn't end up being the worst thing in the world. But if Caps performs how he can and should, especially, being held up to his standard, he's not going to end up in contract prison. And if he does, some things went wrong along the way. But another very, very interesting story, and the last thing I want to talk about in this video, is somebody asked him this question as well, which I thought was really interesting. Caps, to what do you attribute your dip in form last year? Props to this guy for just saying it. Most people wouldn't say that to Caps directly, like, hey, you dipped in form last year. But it's an awesome question. Are you confident that you'll be able to return to being the Claps we knew from 2016 to 2020? Huge fan and wish you all the best in the future. I hope this is a year where everyone finally realizes you deserve to be Carlos's son's favorite uncle. And I could see this going a couple different ways. I could see, Caps owning up to how he played in 2022 or in 2021. Or I could see him, being like, we had team issues. There's a lot of different stuff going on. I think I played fine. I think I'm going to play fine. Seems like pro players end up in one of those two baskets. But Caps does own up to it. He says, thank you for the support. Last year was really bad. I think after losing so many worlds in a row, I started doubting myself a lot and started adapting too much to what people were telling me to do. Essentially, I have always had strong beliefs of how I get the best performance out of me. But last year, I tried something new and it failed. So that's actually very, very interesting to understand that last year, we all knew it was different. It looked like a different Caps. It felt like a different Caps. It was a way less interesting, less fun, less good version of Caps to watch. And, I don't think it's no coincidence that coincides apparently with him doing some new stuff, because it definitely looked like he had been doing some new stuff. So hopefully Caps, if he, has his contract, has everything sorted out, if Reckless was the problem or whatever issues there were with the team last year, if Wonder and Mickey sucked, now they have new pieces, they have new players. Caps is going to get to do his own thing. He's refocused. He realizes that making it to the World Finals and losing is a hell of a lot better, or even making it to World Semifinals and losing, or winning the MSI title is a hell of a lot better than not making it to MSI, not making it to Worlds, anything like that. So expect to see a new and improved Caps in 2022. Expect to see vintage Caps in 2022. And if that is the truth, if that is actually what we're about to see, that is so exciting for G2 fans, but so excited for competitive League of Legends fans in general, because I'm not even I wouldn't call myself a G2 fan. I enjoy watching G2. I think they're interesting. But man, if we can see vintage Caps, I am all down for that. That is, again, the best Western League of Legends player of all time. And if I have the opportunity to watch that, I would love to see some more of that. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about all this Cap stuff? Do you think the contract was a mistake? Do you think he's going to be good in 2022? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.